left hand's in the kitchen, my worlds collided. I made a casserole that my mom used to make back when we didn't really think about nutrients or health, only to discover that it might very well be a traditional Mormon dish. Perfect to serve for our lovely guest and former Mormon, Heather Gay. Okay, everyone, take a look. What do I make Heather Gay? So I started Googling. What foods is Utah famous for? Type. Jell-O, for one. And then it came up on a hit called Mormon funeral potatoes. Heather, before you dig into this, can you confirm or deny that this is indeed a dish that you might have eaten that's traditional Mormon food?
I recognize this. My whole body goes back into my 12-year-old girl self that learned to make it for the first time. These are funeral potatoes. They are world-famous Mormon dish.
Will you try mine?
Hang on. Before you try, you told us a few minutes ago that you are not honest with people who you enjoy, who you like, and you don't tell them the truth. Is there an exception with food? Will you tell Jess if you don't like it?
Well, I barely met Jess, so it's going to be a lot easier to be honest with her.
Okay, go for it,
I also am a big fan of funeral potatoes, and it's hard to mess them up, but I'll be very honest.
It is hard to mess it up. But do you put cornflakes on yours?
This is a butter cornflake crunch blend on top with some cheddar cheese. I think there's a little cream of mushroom soup in here.
2 cans.
Some chopped hash brown potatoes. Did you do a whole, okay.
Frozen.
Sour cream.
Yep.
And salt, pepper.
Yep.
Cream of chicken soup at all, or just cream of mushroom?
Just cream of mushroom so my colleague could eat it.
Okay, well, here we go. So did I not dissect the whole recipe?
You did. You got every single ingredient.
In a 9x12 glass casserole dish?
She really did.
They're delicious.
Oh.
They're delicious. They're delicious. I'm having a second bite. They're so good. They're not a heart attack. They're solid.
Like rib sticking.
Rib sticking
for this weather,
potato.
perfect.
Yes, delicious. Perfect for Canada.
All right, so while we eat, we're gonna talk about your book, Bad Mormon, because this season on Housewives, you shared that you were struggling with meeting your writing deadlines. You were having a hard time, and you also seemed anxious about revealing Mormon secrets and what your family would think. So how does it feel now that it's about to be released into the world? Has your family read it?
Well, my family has not read it, and I don't know if they will ever read it. And I used to be afraid that they would read it, but now I am afraid that they'll never read it and see kind of like some of the wonderful things I wrote about, you know?
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, on the show, I talked a lot about like how hard it was to grow up Mormon and then to have every decision in your life informed by that religion, and then to walk away when you're this old and you've already like made every single decision in your life based on it, you know, who you marry, where you go to school, what you become. And then I'm like in my second chapter, you know, starting a whole new life. And it's because of Housewives that I was able to do that. So that was hard for me to work through when I was trying to like write the book. And that's kind of what you get to see on the show.
And have your friends read it yet?
A few of my friends have, and they asked me to change their names.
Oh, wow.
Which is, you know, sad and painful because we just wrote about being normal teenagers, but we grew up in a very insular community. We have very, very strict standards of behavior, and there's a lot of cultural currency in being a good Mormon, and there is very little cultural currency in being a bad Mormon. And the borders are very aligned and like specific, and when you step outside the circle, it's an immediate fallout.
Wow.
Has there been any response from the church?
The church is currently suing me for use of the trademark. So there's been I'm currently in litigation just for writing the book, but we'll see where that happens.
Wow. Listen, I was raised Catholic, so I do know a bit about sort of what the feeling is growing up in an oppressive religion. And you share so much personal stuff in the book, but since it's not out yet, you can't really get into the details. So I just want to know, like, what was it like growing up in that environment? Like, tell us a little bit about the religion.
Well, the religion is it's really idyllic at first. You know, it works if you fit the mold. And it works for a beautiful nuclear family where everyone is cisgender, heteronormative. You know what I mean? Like, your sexuality is heterosexual. Like, if you do all of these things according to the standard, then it's easy to live and thrive as a Mormon, and it feels very safe. You know, you have a community, you have an extended family, you have people that understand your culture, they understand your songs, they understand your recipes, and you can go to any house and just feel like you're home. But, you know, as you grow up and you realize the doctrine is really problematic and the behavior is problematic, as soon as your life doesn't fit that mold, for me it was my divorce, the divorce immediately caused my entire world and community to implode, and I didn't get remarried immediately. So I was just kind of a dangling, leaf on the vine, and there was really no way for me to thrive in that environment. And that's what I think is so destructive, is when you're outside the community, how do you get back in, and how do you teach that to your children?
Yeah. Well, interesting, like you talk about in the book how you didn't have really anything explained to you as a child, which must have been very, very confusing. And you are a mother of 3 daughters who were raised partly in the Mormon church until you and your ex-husband divorced. How do you explain things to them? Or, a different approach, I'm imagining?
Well, we were just kind of talking about the sex talk, and when I grew up being Mormon, the sex talk was don't ask, don't tell, don't do it. And then I had 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And so my sex talk with them now is ask me everything, tell me everything, and don't do it. So it's baby steps, I'm growing slowly, but it's hard, I always was trained to be a certain kind of mom, and now I'm really the mom that I want to be for these kids, and I am so proud of that relationship that we've created our own family.
I want to expand on that a little bit because who you are and who you want to be. For a long time, you hid who you were. You couldn't be your true self. You felt a lot of shame, and that changed when Housewives, your show, premiered in 2020, and you discovered a community, and you also discovered that people love you. Even like celebrities are obsessed with you. So. You are a celebrity to other celebrities. Have they slid into your DMs? Let's talk. Yeah, okay. Who?
I mean,
give me some names.
So many. There's so many, and they're across the gamut. Rihanna, Octavia Spencer.
No.
I mean,
what's Rihanna's opening shot? Like, hey?
Girl, I feel you. You are, be strong. We could be besties, be you, be proud. I mean, I'm sure she came from a lot of, oppression and had to overcome to be a rock star at the young age,
Who else?
There's so many, and I'm thinking of all of their character names. Sarah Paulson.
Yes.
Fortune, I just forgot her last name. Fortune Feimster.
Yeah.
Fortune, Bridget Everett, Glennon Doyle. I mean, just women that you really esteem and want to be
Friends with,
seen
probably.
by. To be friends with, I would never dare dream. But just to be seen when you felt invisible and under this cloak of shame for a lot of your life, to be seen by women that you admire that are also breaking out of the mold and doing it on their own and really blazing a trail for, people like me. It gives you strength and it gives you, the determination to continue.
Oh, I love that.
Wow.
All right. Oh, God. If you're a mom of 3 girls, I know you got to have parenting right there. You got to have answers right there at the tip of your tongue. So let's do a rapid fire game.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Okay.
All right. So it's going to be playing off the name of your book, of course. So the best, we're going to call this the best of the bad. Okay. So we're going to ask you something like this. So bad manners or bad kisser? Which would you rather?
Bad manners.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't care if he's has bad manners, but if he's a good kisser, that's fine.
Wow. What about bad food or bad sex?
Bad food.
Okay, yeah.
Bad outfit or bad hair day?
Bad hair day. Every day of my life, Gotta learn to live with that,
As if, look at those locks. Heather, we can't thank you enough for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure. For everyone watching, Heather's book, Bad Mormon, comes out on February 7th and is available for pre-order now. Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.